Hi everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to be making this cute birthday card featuring the beers with the foam and the steins. I just love it. It's a set that I haven't used too much and I'm afraid they're going to retire it next month, but so I thought I'd get some more use out of it. It's the Brewed for You, so this is the stamp set, and then it has the coordinating dies. And we're going to be using some of these pieces here today, so let me take those out. This is the hops, and I've already run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, so you can see that. Just to save on a little bit of time, I did a few pieces ahead of time, but I'll talk you through them like I usually do. So to get started, we're going to have a base of Evening Evergreen, and this is 8.5 by 5.5. I did score it at 4 1/4. Then I have a piece of Basic White, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Now this is one of the, let me show you. This embossing folder is one of 3 that come in a bundle called the Basics embossing folder, and it was part of the online exclusives. I believe it might be out of stock right now, and they haven't told us if they're bringing it back yet or not, so we'll see. But you could use almost any background embossing folder that you had for this. So let's just get this adhered to our base. All right, so speaking of the online exclusives, the other piece I used, this is a piece of Evening Evergreen, and let me just find the dies. Once again, I have too much. Where did they go? Oh my goodness. All right, well, I'll find them. Let's see. I just had them out, but I have too much stuff on my, oh, right here. Sorry. The Radiating Stitch dies. And these are really cute. So they cut out around your edges and they leave a pattern. Now, up like this, I don't know if you can see, it does cut through the pattern. When it's on my project, I can't really tell as much that it's coming through. It's so slight. But these cut the edge and not the middle. So you've got these 3 outlying pieces, and then you've got a heart and these 2 circles. And it's really cute. So this was part, I don't know if I said, part of the online exclusives as well. You can certainly order it in a class or online or just by calling your demonstrator, but it's not in a catalog. At least I don't believe it's going to be in a catalog either. All right, so I'm just going to pop this up on some dimensionals. Here we go. Get those all over the place, and then we're just going to put it right about here. Okay, so then I need some circles. So what I'm going to do is use my circle punches. Now these are not available, but you can certainly use your layering circle dies. These are retired, but I just can't stop using them. They do go quick and easy with a punch sometimes. Quick and easier than taking out your layering circle dies. All right, so that was Soft Succulent, and that was the 2 1/4 inch circle punch, and this is the 2 1/2 inch circle punch. The layering dies won't match exactly, but it would be okay if they were a little bigger also. I think that would work just as nice. So then we're just going to adhere this Soft Succulent right, I hope that's still in frame, right in onto the Basic White. And then this we're going to pop up on some dimensionals. Alrighty. And we're just going to put this right about here. Okay, so now let's make our spear steins. So I've already done 2, just so you didn't have to watch me do the whole thing 3 times. So these are the 2 that we've done, but let's make one together. So what we're going to use is some vellum and the stein outline. And then we're going to use some crushed curry for the beer that's inside. And then the foam, we're going to do some embossing. So let's do that embossing first. All right, let's see. Let me just grab a piece of scrap here. All right, so I'm going to take the foam stamp, and we're just going to do white on white. So I'm going to ink this up on Versamark with Versamark, stamp it up, and this just gives some texture to it. You can't, you know, it's not right in your face that you can see the white on white, but I like the texture it gives. And in person, you can see it a lot better. So we're just going to sprinkle the white embossing powder over where we just stamped. And then I'm just going to grab my heat tool and we're going to heat this up. So now let's cut out the pieces that we need with the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. I'm just going to trim this vellum piece a little bit so we have more room on our platform, and I'm going to trim that one as well. All right, I've got my 3 pieces I need and my 3 pieces of cardstock that I need. All right. Here we go. Whoops, took too many. Always need one on the bottom and one on the top. All right, so we're gonna do the one that needs to be directly cut out. Like you've got a lot of room on this and on the beer, but on this one, let me just move that up a little bit to make sure you can see. You've got to really line it up. So I always like to have that one closest to where it's going in first, so that in case it jumps, if these jump a little bit, it's not going to matter because you've got extra space to work with. With that foam we need lined up from where we stamped. Okay. Oh, it's going to slide around. So here's our beer stein. And here's our foam that we did. And then here's the beer. Now this cuts into 2 pieces, but I'm only going to use one. And I'm having trouble grabbing it. So let's just get this off the table. And let me get my take your pick. So you can see it cut into 2 pieces if you wanted to make a taller beer, but because we're using the foam, I'm just going to use that bottom piece. And I don't know if you can see on camera, let me hold it a little bit closer, but there are indents to make little bubbles in there as well. So we're just going to take the crushed curry, put a little adhesive on the back, and then you want the rounded part lined up on the rounded bottom. And then for the foam, you're just going to use a little more adhesive, and then it tucks right in like that. Alrighty. So let's do our sentiment next. And I'm just using a piece of basic white. This is 2 1/4 by 1/2. And we're going to be using there's something on this one. Nope, I got it off. We're going to be using another round for your birthday in soft succulent. I always like to try when I'm using different colors to at least use each color in some way, shape, or form twice, so it kind of ties in together. Let's see if I can get this on our first try here. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so let's put on our stein. So the first one I did, I'm going to just use some adhesive. And when you're putting adhesive on it, just make sure you're not getting it on the vellum that doesn't have something covering it, because then you could actually see it coming through. That's the one caveat I have with working with vellum. So this one, we're going to put a dimensional towards the bottom and some adhesive towards the top because it's going to tuck on top of this one. And you want to make sure your handle of the stein doesn't go over. All right. Did I take the back off? No, that's why it's not sticking. Alrighty, there we go with that piece. And again, on this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the dimensional towards the bottom, take the back off this time, and then a little adhesive so it'll stick to the other ones. And I'm just kind of kitty cornering it this way. There we go. So then the last piece I've got here is a piece of the Regal 6x6 DSP, and this is in crushed curry, and this is 2.5 by 3/4. We're just going to layer our sentiment right on top of that. All right, like that. And then once again, we're going to do the 1/2 and 1/2. So one dimensional, and then this, because this part is already popped up. So I'm just going to go to the edge with this. All right, and then I've got this little piece of hops here, and we're going to use just a glue dot. I'm just going to roll it up, and I'm just going to put it at the base here because that part's going to tuck under and you're not going to see it. So it'll stick without having to use the fine tip glue or something like that. And I'm just going to let it come right out of our sentiment here. And then the last thing I did was I added some bling because I love bling. And these are the 2021 to 2023 in color opal rounds. And we're just going to use a few of these. Well, that one doesn't want to come off. There we go. To adhere to our card. I'm having troubles with this. I think I need more putty on my take your pick. I don't know if I've got more in there, if I need a new one. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so that's all there is to it. So here is the one we made, and here is our original. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. All my socials will be listed down below, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Thanks so much.